this is the first episode of Robyn Rambles. Today I'm going to talk about my time from history. I did history between my first year of high school and my fourth year of high school, so I sat an exam for it. And in first and second year, I think it's pretty much every subject in school is compulsory. Then in third year you get to pick what subjects you want to do exams in. You've got maths, English, a language and RMPS, which is your religious studies. They're all compulsory. And you get to pick with everything else. So I picked history as one of my subjects because I really loved history in my second year. Ow, that's my skin. My second year history teacher, who we are going to call Mr. Tabletops, because he always stood on the table. He was amazing. He took me in my second year of history, and he was what made me fall in love with history, and I was like, I am so taking this next year. What he would do is he would teach us about the World War and everything. And all this are obviously the history stuff, but he would jump on the tables and he would show us this. He would get a pack of pens and he'd shoot it at us, and he'd be like, this is a bomb attacking you and this is flying down and it's gonna hit you in the head and everything. He was always jumping on the tables and trying to show us things. And what I can really remember is when we were learning about World War II, he would sort of command us orders and make us really feel like we were in a kid version of the war. So he would shout things at us, he would make it all real, he would do this and that. He'd get a pack of pencils or pens and he'd shoot them at us, he'd sort of jerk them out of the packet and he'd go, everyone duck! And you'd all have to put your heads down, and he was like, this is what it's like when bombs are attacking you and you don't know what to do, and then shrapnel is hitting you. It really felt good. And I remember one day walking into class and the whole classroom had been rearranged. It was two tables together, so you were sitting in twos and it was just rows of two. And then all of a sudden we went in and it wasn't rows of two anymore. It was this it went up, along, down, in, and then kind of went on the inside again, but with a wee bit of a gap. And we all walked in and he just went, put your bags down. So we put all our bags down and he was like, so you have to crawl through the trenches. So our tables were the trenches and we had to crawl through them. And we're like that, oh my god, so you made us crawl through them. And he was like, so see how long that took you to do it? Think about having to crawl around that in the mud with people shooting at you, this, that and the next thing. Then he started to go up on the tables and do this, that and the next. Or there was another time in class where he was trying to describe something to us, so just stood on our table. We all had our workout, and he just stood on the table and was like, clear it when I come. And he just walked across people's tables and then came off again, and we were like that, pal. What? But it was a really good way of learning, and I felt I really did want to do well in his class, which I did. I was really good at history in his class. And I got him in my third year again, so I was so happy. And we were doing more in our third year, and this just was getting really, really good. And near the end of our third year, he told us he was retiring, so we wouldn't have him for our fourth year. And I was devastated because I was like, I love this subject because of you. And I was like, well, I'll still love the subject even if the lecturer's gone. It's still the lecturer, even if the teacher's gone, because it's the subject I like, right? So I was like, it'll be fine, but I was really upset he was leaving. So fourth year rolls around, and this is the years of the exam, and I get a teacher who we're going to call Mr. Pale Purple. And Mr. Pale Purple, I thought was okay. I was like, right, okay, he'll be fine. I'll still love the subject. I didn't love the subject. This was the class that I realised the teacher and the lecturer do make a difference. Whoever is teaching you the subject really can impact on your learning of it. If you don't gel with the person who's trying to teach you, then you're really not going to learn anything. Like Mr. Tabletops, I loved the way he taught. It was very hands-on, it was very practical, it was very entertaining. So I remembered the information and I was wanting to learn it all. But Mr. Pale Purple, I didn't enjoy. He just spoke to us for 50 minutes. And I was like that, I'm so bored. So I didn't learn anything because I was bored. I didn't want to go to his classes. Because I was getting bored not going to the classes, I ended up not doing as well. Because I wasn't doing as well, he was getting angry with me. Or more frustrated with me, because he was getting frustrated because I wasn't doing well. I was getting angry, and because this was happening, it just stirred up so much trouble. So in my 4th year, I was hardly doing my homework, to which I was doing my homework really well in my 3rd year. I didn't really connect in class. I hardly paid attention. By halfway through my 4th year, I was getting sent out of class for being cheeky to him. And I will say I am quite a cheeky person. And I can come across as really cheeky, and my tone and facial features completely give me away with how I'm feeling. But I had never been sent out of class since I started high school for cheek. And I was, oh god, like I'm getting sent out, and I was so angry when I got sent out. And I was so angry when I went back to class, but then I realised later on, I get sent out of class for my cheek. I haven't ever been done that before, and that really kind of horrified me. But I was so livid at him. I couldn't gel with him. I hated his class so much. And as a result of that, I ended up not failing the exam, but I'm sure I was in, it was a general credit, so it was the top class. And I ended up doing a general foundation, which is the lower class. I stayed in the same class, just my exam was easier. And I'm sure I get moved down a level in his class. And I was devastated, and I didn't even do well in the exam for an easier level. I got the equivalent to a B in that exam, which was okay, but I was meant to be getting an AB in the harder class, the class above me. So that's when I realised that if you teach a subject, or if you teach anything, your way of teaching really can have an impact on those who are learning. And I know when you have a class or a lecture hall or whatever, you can't accommodate to every single individual in that room. But if someone who had a different teacher, lecturer, whoever, the previous year and did really, really well, and now has you or someone else and is now doing poorly, and both of those teachers taught differently, or whatever it might be, it kind of goes to show that maybe that person was more responsive to another way of learning, or vice versa. If someone was doing really poorly and is now doing really good, it's the ways of learning. I really loved Mr. Tabletop's class, and I really hated Mr. Pale Purple, but they taught us the same things. But I couldn't connect with Mr. Pale Purple. It was so hard for me to do, and I ended up really downgrading for that and suffering for it. And I do feel kind of I could have done better, because I could have done better. I could have gotten a better grade. I could have. Looking back on it, I can see that it was frustrating for him, but I can also see where it was really frustrating for me and why it really did upset me at the time. And I don't think everything I did was justified, but I think quite a lot of what I did was justified. If I'm not interested in the subject, I didn't see the point in stressing myself out about it at home, so I let it slip, which I know technically you need to do your homework and that you should do your homework, but just to me I was like, well, it's just going to cause me unnecessary stress, so I'm not going to. Hey ho. So that was kind of my thinking of it. If it's going to stress me out and it doesn't need to stress me out, why let it? But I don't know. I probably should have just studied more for the exam, and I think I would have been okay, but I didn't. which was a pity. But I've made up for it. Like, I like to find out about places, I like researching things, and just I like knowing the past. So looking back at where I was and like how I hated the subject then, I still enjoy looking up stuff now. So I still look up things. I still do all that anyway. I just don't get tested on it anymore. And I don't need to focus on like World War One or like the Holocaust or anything like that, or Russia. I can just kind of go, oh well, this building's really interesting, what's its history and stuff like that. So I do quite enjoy it, and my family and we did a lot of holidays around Scotland, and we went and visited like a lot of like castles and monuments and like remains of places. So it was really good, and you learnt a lot of history there as well, which was interesting. I really enjoyed them too. So that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it and a little insight into what I was like in high school. More of these have to come. I hope you all have a fabulous Thursday, and I will see you all on Friday. See you later.